Georgia's 2025 property tax appeal season is almost upon us, and you want to learn how to appeal your property tax assessment notice, right? Then you're in the right place. Georgia counties are getting ready to release their 2025 assessment notices as I make this video in April of 2025. There will be tens of thousands of assessment notices mailed throughout Georgia from May through July. You will learn how to fill out Georgia's tax appeal form so that your tax appeal rights as a property owner are preserved. The goal of this video is not to teach you the entire Georgia tax appeal process. That is beyond the scope of this video. But you can pause this video to take a look at this chart of what is to come. It's really not as scary as it looks. I will have another video you can watch which will provide an overview of the Georgia tax appeal process. I also wrote a book newly revised for 2025 titled Tax Freeze: How to File and Win Property Tax Appeals in Georgia. If you want to learn more about Georgia's property tax appeal process, this is the book to get. The book is available on Amazon Kindle for less than $10. The paperback version is also available on Amazon for a few dollars more. The first thing you need to do before appealing your property tax assessment is you need to get a copy of your annual assessment notice before you can even get started. These annual assessment notices are formally known as the Georgia PT-311-A form. If you are unsure whether your county has mailed out your annual assessment notice, call your county's tax assessor's office. Understand that there are 159 counties in Georgia and every county has their own release schedule. If you call your tax assessor's office, make sure they have your correct mailing address for each one of your properties. Sometimes they will have incorrect mailing addresses on file. If you don't have a copy of your assessment notice, ask for an emailed copy or download it from your tax assessor's website. You can also visit the tax assessor's office in person to get your copy of the assessment notice. If you have multiple properties, you should know that it's possible to have one property have a correct mailing address and another property have an incorrect mailing address. If you have properties located in different counties, you'll have to call each county's tax assessor's office separately. Regardless of your situation, you need your annual assessment notice in front of you so you can fill out the property tax appeal form correctly. It's a minor point, but starting with 2025, the assessment notices might look somewhat different than prior year notices. That's because Georgia's House Bill 581 was passed in 2024 and took effect in January 1, 2025. Now, I don't want to talk too much about the changes because it's really not relevant to this video. I don't want to stray off track, but just know that there might be some minor changes to the 2025 assessment notice. The second thing you need to do is to get a copy of your county's tax appeal form. Visit your county tax assessor's website and download a copy of Georgia's standard property tax appeal form. That form is known as the Georgia PT-311-A form. In theory, the standard appeal form can be used in any county in Georgia. In practice, a few Georgia counties use a customized version for their county. I recommend using the customized appeal forms for your county if they are available. But if you use Georgia's standard appeal form, your county should still be fine with it. In order to preserve your tax appeal rights, you must fill out and sign the one-page tax appeal form. You then deliver it within 45 days of the print date of your assessment notice. By doing this, you are seeking a value reduction and a 3-year property tax freeze as you progress through the tax appeal process. As a sidebar, some counties in Georgia allow for electronic filing of tax appeals. I've done it a couple of times and it can be convenient. However, electronic filing is not available in all Georgia counties, and you could run into technical glitches. So keep that in mind if you want to take a stab at it. If you want to file electronically, you have to adapt the information from this video for electronic filing of your tax appeal. Filling out the basic tax appeal form is simple in Georgia. If you have your information together, the basic form should only take 10 to 15 minutes at most to fill out. You should know that filing a property tax appeal is a right for every Georgia property owner to exercise. Don't be shy in exercising those rights. If you don't, you will have to pay more property taxes than you should. Unlike some states, the good news is that there are no fees in Georgia to file the tax appeal form. I encourage property owners to file property tax appeals in Georgia because it's the only way to get your 3-year tax freeze. It's sometimes referred to as the 299C tax freeze. 299C is short code for Georgia Statute 48-5-299C. The caveat to getting the 299C tax freeze in 2025 is that you must go all the way through the appeal process and negotiate a value reduction. Unlike prior years, if you don't get a value reduction, you won't get your tax freeze. Filling out the Georgia PT-311-A appeal form is that crucial first step that must be completed. Starting out, fill out the top portion of the form. It is the contact information section. It's easy and pretty straightforward. Print your full name, mailing address, phone numbers, and email address. This information is used by the tax assessor's office and the Board of Equalization. During the process, you will receive postal mail, emails, and even phone calls. Communications and notices come at unpredictable times, so only list active contact information you will check. In the next section, check off the real box for real estate property appeals. The property ID number is your county's unique identifier for your parcel or property. This is very important to get right, and it's listed on your assessment form. If you happen to be dyslexic, you definitely want somebody to double check this for you. Your appeal can be disregarded if the tax assessor's office can't correctly identify which property your appeal form is for. In the property description field, I generally write the street address of the property being appealed to further support identifying the correct parcel or property. In the account number field, this is generally an optional field. I will write it in if it is provided on the assessment form. Otherwise, I just leave it blank. Some counties list the account number on the assessment notice. Some counties don't. It's generally not a big deal if you don't have the account number. Under grounds for appeal, at minimum, check the value box. Optionally, you can also check the uniformity box if you feel your property is not being treated fairly compared to other similar houses. For 2025, I recommend people check the value box only and not the uniformity box because of feedback I got recently. For most owners of single-family homes, you want to select the BOE option, the Board of Equalization. It is the free option. Under owner's value assertion, this is the dollar value you believe that your property should be assessed at as of January 1, 2025. I can tell you from personal experience that I almost always get this number wrong and put too high a number in my effort to be fair, only to later regret it. I would later do research, pull sales comps, inspect the property, and realize I hurt my own efforts by writing a number that was too high. I hate it when that happens. Don't let this happen to you. Generally, the sales comps you are looking for are the prior year's comps. For example, 2025 property tax appeals reference sales values from January 1, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. Don't use any 2025 sales information. That is a big mistake inexperienced people, including real estate agents, make. Sales comps tend to skew high because most sold homes are cleaned up, repaired, updated, and retail-ready homes. You need to make a lower value adjustment to account for homes that are occupied, have wear and tear, and deferred maintenance issues. If you are under the gun for time in filling out the appeal form, do yourself a favor and write in a lower value number than a higher value number, even if you feel it's a ridiculous number. You can always agree to settle the appeal at a higher value later, but you can't settle a value lower than what you wrote. Under property owner comments, there are only 2 lines to write comments. It's very tight, and you can't write a lot here. With most tax appeals I file, I include a separate text page to address issues and factors that I want to bring attention to. Generally, I highlight the most significant factors affecting the value from the highest impact to the lowest impact. Some items I might list might be roof, siding, foundation, HVAC issues, etc. I typically end the comments section by including a phrase, "See attached page for more info," or "More info forthcoming." I always include additional evidence at some point in the appeal process. Sometimes I will provide it with the appeal form. Other times I provide the evidence after I've delivered the appeal form. Under property class, select the residential box for appeals regarding single-family homes. You should know that if you own residential property with more than 3 units, such as a quadruplex, it will automatically be classified as a commercial appeal no matter what you select. The next thing you want to absolutely remember is to sign the appeal form. If you don't sign it, your appeal will be rejected. Sign with a blue ink pen. Some employees are very insistent on verifying original signatures on an appeal form. Speaking of being insistent, my cat Jaggy insists that you swipe that like button to help spread this video to more property owners like yourself. And as a special bonus, if you hit that subscribe button, I will make sure Jaggy gets a special treat. Under the last section is the agent information area. This is for people who want assistance with their appeal. The agent section does not mean real estate agent, insurance agent, or anything like that. Agent in the context of this tax appeal is someone who you designate and give authorization to receive information on the appeal, such as postal mail, phone calls, or emails relating to the tax appeal. In some Georgia counties, both the property owner and agent will receive mailed notices. In other Georgia counties, only the agent receives mailed notices, and I've learned this the hard way. Whoever you list as your appeal agent should be trustworthy enough to receive mailed notices and respond to them appropriately, or at the very least, reliably deliver communications and notices to you as a property owner. It's not urgent you list an agent up front. You can always add them later with a letter of authorization. As I stated earlier, this video is meant to explain how to fill out Georgia's tax appeal form, the PT-311-A, in a simple manner to preserve your appeal rights. Because if you don't get this appeal form filled out and delivered before the 45-day deadline, your appeal is dead for the current year, and it's costly to miss the deadline. When you complete the form and sign it, hand deliver or mail it in at least 7 days before the 45-day deadline to give yourself some time cushion. Providing evidence, supporting documents, and going through the rest of the appeal process to get your tax freeze requires a little bit more work on your part. The more supporting evidence you provide up front, the easier it will be for you later. But if you are in a time crunch, just get that one-page appeal form sent in. You worry about the rest later. Make sure you confirm receipt by calling the tax assessor's office. You will ultimately need to research, look up, and review sales comps, do a property inspection, and make notes of damages, defects, and deferred maintenance issues. You should take good photos as part of your evidence in supporting document submission. You do all these and other things to prepare for a settlement negotiation or a Board of Equalization hearing later on in the process. To help you through the process, you should get a copy of my book, newly revised for 2025. Tax Freeze, How to File and Win Property Tax Appeals in Georgia. It's available on Amazon in both Kindle ebook format and printed paperback format. What you should do now is watch this next video to get a better understanding of how to get your property tax freeze in Georgia. Thank you for watching, and I will see you over there in that video.